choose once again where your power really lies. Does it lie in hell or heaven? Does it lie in knowing that you are a spirit beyond the body, or just that you are a mere mortal, succumbing to all the temptations and the darkness that's around in the world? And there is so much darkness. There is so much temptation right now. If you look at like the state of health that we have in the world, cancer is about to surpass heart disease. And cancer, a lot of times in the spiritual world, they view it as a psychological diagnosis because we think our way into stress in the body. Stress, a lot of the times for us, is more psychological than it is actually physical in the environment, right? Like if we'd be living in the forest or in hunter-gatherer tribes, our safety would be more apparent, right? But now we're in a grocery store, we're surrounded by food, we're surrounded by an abundance of calories and food. However, we are still in this psychologically stressed out place. And why is that? And we go through sacred depletion, which is like our body is not happy with where it is. It's trying to escape and find safety and find love outside of itself. We find idols. So anyway, this is A Course in Miracles. I try to read this book every day. And I go back to the introduction at the beginning of the book. It says, this course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. And it reminds me of the testosterone and the cortisol balance, how we're either in a state of tension or we're in a state of relaxation. And this is happening all the time throughout the day. We have these moments of choosing whether we want to be in heaven or hell all the time. And talk about the amino and fatty acids because like that last passage was you can choose again. Every day you can choose again, at least physically, to feed your body abundantly those amino and fatty acids. We could be going through a lot of psychological stress, but at the very least we can support our body through extra minerals and vitamins to help us get through this psychologically stressful time period. And although we need to get to the root of what is causing the psychological stress, whether that be, a lot of times it's just our daily habits. Our daily habits are the outcome of our life. Like they say, there's a quote in the 5 a.m. Club book, as you live each day, so you craft your life. So the entirety of our habits and our choices like build up the decisions that we make in our life. Like if I wake up every single morning and I'm getting on my phone first thing in the morning, I'm pretty much going to live my day in my stress response. Whether on the opposite end, I could get up and I could spend some time, I could go outside and take in the light, I could spend some time in my body, taking a few deep breaths. Those are two completely different biochemistry days, right? And if I'm going straight for my coffee, my caffeine in the morning, maybe that's putting me into my stress response and I'm going to live my entire day in the stress response. Or I'm eating a dense fatty acid and amino acid breakfast. That's a whole different day. So as you live each day, so you craft your life. And I really like this book because I feel like it's kind of written in an odd way in that I have to like really sit down and pay attention and almost be kind of still to understand what it's saying. But it talks about, it doesn't necessarily talk about the hormones, right? The battle between the testosterone and the cortisol. But it talks about the ego and the ever-present love that is surrounded us. So that's why I like the book, because it's easy for me to translate it into the hormones and how the psychological tension kind of guides our life. And it's like our ego is always trying to sabotage us, you know, like why do we do the things that we do? What stories are we playing out in our head? And it always talks about like choosing peace. It's the book, it's Foundation for Inner Peace. So it's like, you know, if you're not choosing peace, you're choosing chaos. And it says confusion is total. So when you feel confused about something, you know, we have intuition, and that's our foresight about things. So if somebody asks, hey, do you want to go to dinner? Do you want to go do this thing? Sometimes you'll have this yes in the body. Or sometimes you'll have this, oh, yeah, maybe I'll have to let you know. As your body's intuition saying, no, not really. I don't really want to. That's the immune system saying, I'd rather not be around this energy, right? Because if I go into a space with someone, I'm sharing a microbiome with them. I'm sharing a hormone profile with them. So the body is always looking to protect us. And your body might be saying no to everything. Like for me, I'm like a hermit. I love being on my own and in my own space. And it was really hard for me over the last few years to get comfortable saying no. Because it's like, you know, socially, like we're social creatures. And even my family is like, you know, put yourself out there more, Rachel, like go and do these things. But it's like, I feel deeply at peace in my own energy, deeply at peace when I'm reading my books, and when, you know, like I prefer a life of quality over quantity. Of like when I really say yes, it's like it really like fills me up, fills my cup. And you know, you're not missing anything by saying no and being in your own space, being in your own peace. You're choosing your health, you're choosing your hormones, your microbiome, you're choosing your inner peace, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. I would say go on an experiment where you just say no to invitations for a month, right? You just start saying no to everything just for 1 month. It's not your entire life, it's for 1 month. And it will become clear like which things that you say yes to like really mean something to you, like what things really fill my cup and don't leave me so drained. And like you start saying yes to everything. It's like you need to do your laundry, you need to clean your bathroom, you need to make food for yourself, go into the sunlight, go exercise. Like there's all these ways that you need to give that love to yourself first. Resting, going to bed on time, getting enough rest. There's all these ways, meditating, that you can give that love to yourself first. So it's just for a month. Go on this like little exploratory adventure of saying no. And I feel like for me that has provided me a lot of clarity with what I've wanted to say yes to. So I hope this video is helpful for you in some way. If it is, you can like, share, and subscribe. Last thing is the enemy. We only have one enemy. The enemy is darkness. The enemy doesn't want you to use your mitochondria. The enemy wants you to be in self-doubt. It wants you to think, I'm not that beautiful, or I can't do this. It wants you to get frustrated with somebody. It wants you to feel attacked and confused. And like, I told this story the other day on my TikTok, but I was polishing silverware in the restaurant. I work at a restaurant. I was polishing silverware. I really wanted to leave. It was at the end of the day, and the dishwasher had just decided to drop all of this silverware. And the last thing I wanted to do was sit there and work for $2.13 an hour polishing this silverware. And I was standing next to one other server, and I was like, we're going to knock this out together. And this other server walks up and he says, this was somebody else's job. And the server next to me said, it's always someone else's job, but right now it's right in front of your face, so it's your job. And it's just like, that's the same thing when you have kids. It's always someone else's job. There's two types of people in life. Either you can complain about doing something, or you can just step up, accept, and get it done yourself. So don't waste your energy on complaining how something isn't the way that it should be, or someone else was supposed to do it. This is your sacrifice to the world. This is how you lead in the world, is just get it done and do it. It was someone else's job. Of course it always is, but right now it's yours. So anyway, I love you so much. Yeah. I do. Good luck. Have a beautiful day. You're so beautiful and intelligent. Catch you later.